That's some good pandan. Hi everyone, it's Tash and I'm roasting alive. Seriously, it's 30 degrees outside and inside it is not much better. Can you see that? A bit reflecty. It's 29.3 and as you can see by the sad face, it is sad times. That's the thing about heat waves in the UK, it's just so humid that the heat gets unpleasant because you can sweat but it's not going to evaporate off you, so it's sort of clinging to you and it's still hot. And also air conditioning isn't a thing here, so we're kind of trapped. So please excuse this recipe video if you can hear the fan going on in the background while I'm cooking, because I am going to be stirring continuously over a hot stove for about half an hour, so I cannot not have the fan while it's nearly 30 degrees C indoors. Anyway, why am I going to be stirring the pot over a heat for 30 minutes? It's because we're going to make Pandan kaya. Kaya is like a rich coconut milk jam. It's really popular in Malaysia, one of my favourite spreads. Actually, it's more like a curd rather than a jam because it involves eggs, so it's closer to lemon curd. The ingredients that go into kaya are super simple. Really not very many ingredients. You've got your coconut milk, pandan leaves to flavour, sugar to sweeten, and eggs to thicken and enrich. Here's what a pandan leaf looks like, by the way. It's also called screw pine because it kind of looks like a pine leaf, and they grow in bushes on the ground. My grandma in Malaysia actually has quite a few of these plants that are growing outside that she planted herself. These aren't them though, I bought them from the Chinese supermarket. Now there are two main kinds of kaya, and that's like your regular kaya, and it will probably be a golden brown colour when you see it in jars at the supermarket and Asian stores. And those ones are flavoured with a little bit of pandan, but then the other type is the pandan kaya, and that is usually really bright green or greenish brown, and that's when you actually use pandan juice in it and it's even stronger. We're going to make the second kind today because I love my pandan colour and flavour, so I want to be a bit extra. And I'm using the easiest method possible for this. No double boiler, no steaming, we're just going to zhuzh everything up and then cook it over a stove directly in the wok. Now one really common problem when making kaya is curdling. And this is a common problem with most egg type recipes where you want to get it smooth but you're working with eggs like custard. The key is just keeping it on quite a low heat and stirring continuously. But if it does curdle, and 9 out of 10 times for me it does, then I will show you a really easy cheat to get it really smooth and silky. It works every time. So don't be frightened about curdling, because if it does, it's actually not a problem. As long as you don't scramble the eggs and get really big chunks, then you're in trouble, but I'll show you how to get around that. Anyway, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. The first thing we need to do is make some pandan coconut milk, and you can skip this step if you don't want green pandan kaya, and then you can just cook a whole pandan leaf later on in the pan, but I want it green and very strongly pandan flavoured, so we're going to whisk some coconut milk up with some leaves. So first we're going to need 200 millilitres of full fat coconut milk. Get the nice thick stuff. That's about half a can in my case. Perfect. And I've got 6 pandan leaves in here. And I'm going to chop them up and put them straight in this blender bowl. And I'm going to go take this and whiz it up like a smoothie. And here we have our rough pandan smoothie, nice and green, and it's quite rough, that's okay, the leaves are really tough anyway, you're not going to actually need to blend it completely because now we're going to strain it. Here I have a bowl, a sieve, and this happens to be a nut milk bag. You can use muslin or you can just use a very fine sieve, although you might have to sieve it a couple of times if you do it that way. But here I have double insurance. And I'm going to pour the pandan coconut mixture straight into that bag. Strain all of the leafy bits out, like this. Then feel free to give it a nice squeeze. That is super satisfying. Nice, don't get to the sieve just yet, we're going to use it in a minute. And as for all of this pandan stuff, you can just throw that away, it's really fibrous, you're not going to eat this. Now we're going to crack in 4 eggs. These are medium-sized eggs. We're also going to add 100 grams of caster sugar and also just the tiniest pinch of salt, not too much. And now we're going to give this a quick whisk, just so it's well combined. And that's it, that's your kaya base. Now, one last thing we've got to do before we cook it is we have to strain it, because we don't want any eggy lumps in there or anything else. So just take that. That's straight in. And as you can see, I actually had some eggshells in there and a little blood spot there too. So that's why I wasn't that concerned about cracking it straight in there, because we get to strain it anyway. Give the sieve a good shake. And you can see there are some solid bits of egg jelly in there too, which we don't want either. And we're good to go. Let's cook this up. Now we just need to cook this up until it's thick, so I'm going to put this on a gentle heat, low to medium, and then I'm going to keep stirring it. And don't stop stirring, because you don't want scrambled eggs, and do not turn the heat up either, because again, that's going to just scramble your eggs and you're not going to have a nice thick silky curd. So I guess I'll see you in about half an hour. Now it's been about 15 minutes, and as you have seen, I have actually transferred to a whisk, because once it starts thickening, that's when the danger zone happens and you might start scrambling. So to stop it from forming 2 big lumps, I'm going ahead and whisking it with a balloon whisk, and I'm going to do this for another 15 minutes or so until it is super thick. Swap back to our spatula, that's what it's called, a spatula, and it's only actually been another 10 minutes. But this is actually perfect now. So we're going to take it off the heat and jar it up. Now I have a very cheeky cheat for you. If your kaya does curdle a bit, and it's very common with homemade kaya, then give it a whirl with a stick blender. There you go, now you know the secret to homemade silky smooth kaya. It's that simple. So now that it's nice and smooth, I'm going to put it in a little jar and also a little bit in a bowl for later. That looks good. Let me just grab a spoon. Can't let any of our hard work go to waste. I say it was hard work. That wasn't hard work at all. Just standing at the stove when your house is 30 degrees C and stirring over a heat for 30 minutes was a bit hard, but other than that, technically not that hard. But now, unfortunately, this bit is very difficult. We have to wait until this is completely cooled down. And it's not possible to have a good kaya toast without a couple of very generous slices of butter. Just look at that colour, absolutely amazing, and it's so glossy too. Woo! Cannot wait to eat this. And just look at how super spreadable and smooth this is. I just can't get over that texture every time. This is great dolloped over ice cream too. Yum. I am so pleased with that. I love kaya toast so much, and I use slightly salted butter as well, and then it just brings up that extra sweetness. Delicious. I'm going to tie my hair up before I eat this, otherwise I'm going to get it all in the kaya, and the back of my neck is so sweaty at the moment. You probably didn't need to know that, but now you do. You're welcome. A clippy little clip. Alright, here we go. Cheers. It's so sweet and rich and fragrant. I love kaya so much. If you're ever in Malaysia or even Singapore, this is a very popular kopi tiam breakfast. Kopi tiam meaning coffee shop. And it's often served with half-boiled eggs as well. If you haven't heard of half-boiled eggs, then that is coming up in a recipe video very soon. Also very popular breakfast in Malaysia. But at its most simple form, it is most often served with toast, spread like this with plenty of butter. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com and follow me on Instagram. I'm tashcakes.tastes. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you liked it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular. I'm always open to suggestions and I'll see you guys next time. Be good, be nice and have a good week. Phew.